late because when you're running late, it's because you were in the bathtub too long.
Yeah, there you go. I do have a tendency to stay in the tub a little while. All right, you guys, as you can see and you heard, I went ahead and hit record. I see so many familiar faces, but I never want to just assume that everyone on here, that no one on here is new. I don't see some new people, but they may be joining here soon. But my name is Amber Livesay. I am one half of your leadership in the Pink Link team, and my sister Jana Hooten, who needs to update her Zoom picture, by the way. Her hair is much longer now. Is the other half. We're both diamond ambassadors with Plexus. We love this company. I would not have been in this company for almost 9 years if I didn't absolutely love it. So we are so glad you guys took some time out of your night to join us. Everyone give yourselves a little pat on the back. Way to go. Way to go. You are investing in your business and you are investing in yourselves tonight. So kudos to you all. I know it's a busy time of year. Graduations and weddings and all kinds of things taking place. And you guys are here. I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone. So Joel, when I introduce you, just be sure to unmute here in a few minutes. Let me just talk to you guys. I want to do one last push. I think I'm looking at a screen full of people that are all registered and coming to convention, right? I'm looking at a whole screen full of people coming to convention. I want to reiterate something that Genevieve, wasn't she amazing? Oh my gosh. If you haven't listened to our call with Genevieve Scory from corporate, make sure you do. It's posted on the Pink Link page and it's also on my YouTube channel. But she said, you deserve to be at convention, and you do. You deserve to be there. Make the investment. Ask on team pages for roommates if you need that, but make the time, make the investment. I know it's not easy, and I'm not going to pretend like it is, to get time away from family, get time away from work, have all that money, all the things. I know it's not easy, but oh my goodness, is it ever worth it? I don't think there's a single person on this call who's been to a Plexus convention before that would tell you, no, I don't think I'll go again. It wasn't that great, right? We sit there at convention like, what is happening next? Like, it's just so many amazing things, and they truly roll out the red carpet for us. So May 15th, it's coming up, is your last day to register for convention. You guys, I know I'm looking at a bunch of leaders. So y'all are coming, but push this with your teams. We really, Jan and I have talked about this. We really want to try to have the highest number that our team has ever had at convention. I don't really know what that number is. I guess when we all get there, we'll be like, sure, this was more than last time. I don't know. But we want you guys there, and it's going to be a wonderful, oh, there's Claire. Sorry, I get to see Claire Bear's face. It's going to be a wonderful reunion too. Guys, we haven't been together in 2 years for convention. It's going to be incredible. And they are like doing everything. The minute you step off the airplane in Columbus, it's Plexus. Plexus is everywhere. We're taking over the whole city. And I, for one, kind of like that. Maybe they could rename Columbus Plexus, Ohio. I don't know. It's a thought. I'll talk to the mayor. We'll see. But anyways, you guys, we want and we try to bring you all some incredible speakers. And I got to know this man a few weeks ago, really. It really hasn't been that long, maybe a month or so ago. Where's Monica? There she is. Thank you. Monica Stansel is buddies with Joel, and she kind of introduced me to him. Well, not kind of, she did. I spent about an hour and a half on the phone with him, and I knew that he had a wealth of knowledge that he could give to our team. He is, I put on the graphic, a network marketing expert, and I truly believe that. He has been in some big companies making six-figure incomes. And I think it's great that sometimes we get to hear from people who are outside of Plexus and hear what they're doing and hear what they think and hear what their tactics are and all their things. So Joel and I discussed it. And Jana and I discussed it. What do we need for our team right now? And I feel like we have so much momentum right now. So this may seem a little bit like an oxymoron when we do have so much momentum, but tonight Joel's going to talk to us about the pitfalls of network marketing. That sounds really Debbie Downer, doesn't it? Like, I want to go pitfalls and go womp, womp, right? But tune in, get a pen, get a paper, tune in, lean in, and really listen, because I know that we are all going to get something from this call. So like I said, if there's anyone that should be on this call, they're not here, shoot them a quick message. I'm going to open us up in a word of prayer, and then Joel, take it away, sir. Dear Lord Jesus, thank you so much for this night. Thank you for this gift of technology to be able to come together. Lord, I thank you for Plexus. I thank you for what it means in each and every one of our lives, for the life-changing business and products that it is. Lord, we thank you so much for that. Lord, we pray over Joel tonight. We pray over everything that he has to say to us. Lord, help our minds and our hearts to be open. In your name, amen.
Well, okay. So thank you so much. I am humbled and honored to be here. So thank you, Amber, and Miss Jana. I can't wait to meet you someday. I have heard so much about you, but I'm honored and blessed to be here, because one of my passions is, after 25 years in the industry, I have to give back. The industry has blessed me in ways that I will never be explained to people. I will never be able to walk somebody through the entire journey, because it won't make any sense, because it's my journey. And when I look backwards over the last 25 years, I've changed, I've grown, I've developed, I've become better. And in that journey, we've even learned things not to do and things to do. And so the multitude of things that we have to give, I'm just humbled to be able to share, because I do think I have some things to say. In fact, I know my prayer for the last 2 weeks has been, when I get on this call, whoever's on this call is going to hear something that they're going to walk away with, and they'll be able to use it immediately. It will change perspective. It will open a door. It will open a window. Some air will rush in. I mean, there'll be something fresh that you'll be able to walk away in this moment, at this time, that you need to hear. So we're going to start. We're going to jump right in. I want you to draw a circle on your paper. And if you're not taking notes, I'm sorry, you should be. A dear friend of mine, his name is Ron Reynolds. He said to me more than one time, Joel, put it on paper, because whatever you leave to your mind, if you leave your better future to your mind, you will make a mistake and you will never realize your better future. So get it on paper where you can go back and get it another period of time, but don't leave it up here, because you're the only one that's going to get it. And there's going to be so much up there, it's going to be confused. So get it out and get it on paper. So here's what I want you to start with. Draw a circle on your paper, draw a vertical line through the middle of it, and on half of it, draw a horizontal line through it. So you have 3 spaces on your graph. On the half side, write 50%. On the 2 sides that have quarters, write 25 and 25. And I want this to be the perspective that we walk through pitfalls, but battling the pitfalls is really what we're going to talk about. So that circle represents a friend of mine. His name is Mike Wade, and his leadership training is 50% of your business is leadership. 25% is being an expert about product, and 25% is being expert about what the business opportunity is. So you notice that leadership, becoming more, becoming better, becoming a better communicator, becoming a better listener, becoming more knowledgeable, having bigger vision, that leadership component is more important than the 25% pieces on the other side. So grasp that as we're walking through tonight, and maybe that's all you take away tonight. And if you do, you'll remember it for 20 years like I have. A little bit about me. My wife's name is Jackie. We live in Austin, Texas, or just in Georgetown, Texas, which is north of Austin. My background is sports medicine and sports nutrition. I've worked with some of the best athletic training programs on the planet, and worked with some of the best athletes around. I stumbled into a little job at Georgetown High School in Georgetown, Texas, where I had 1,800 athletes that I was responsible for. And I wasn't looking for products company or anything. A guy walked in my office one day and offered me some products. And that invitation to check out some products way back in 1998 is the start of my journey into the direct sales market. The nutritional component met my bailiwick. It fired me up because it was touchy feely. It was doctors. It was science. I could get involved. I could really dive into how I could help people be better. And have never really left that. I'm super excited to be involved in direct sales. I think direct sales offers so much to so many people. It opens up so many doors that you don't even think about. And we have let's see here, Mitch will be 25 in June. He was a college baseball player. He played at University of Pennsylvania and he played at Rice University. He's got his master's degree. He's got a great job in Houston. I have a daughter. She is just turned 21 in January. She has been the president of the Christian sorority at Texas A&M. She just got her Texas Aggie ring and she's so excited about that and what that whole thing involves. And she'll be entering her senior year this coming fall. My wife and I we will be married 30 years on the 23rd of this month. And our direct sales journey started with making enough money to bring me home. Then it was enough money to get out of debt. And then it was enough money to give back. And then it was more money to give back. In the middle of all that, we started a nonprofit. And our nonprofit does mission work on 5 different countries and 2 different continents. We do everything from taking people with us on trips in Mexico. Our biggest trip was 400 people. We take care of orphanages in Nairobi, Kenya. We have some support going on in India. And that's a part of the world that is, I'm glad I'm not the one called, because the persecution that occurs in that part of the world is unbelievable. We're actually doing some stuff with Ukraine right now. And that's just something we do in our spare time because our direct sales business grew to the point that we had to do something bigger. So let's just jump right in and let's get a little bit nitty gritty, because I'm going to poke, I'm going to jab, I'm going to make you uncomfortable. But with each one of these pitfalls, I have a solution, and it's only a solution. I am an expert. I've been through a lot, but my answers aren't the only answer. And I want you to understand that up front, that you're going to get information from other sources, blend it. A great friend of mine, one of my mentors, said, Joel, I want you to think about wearing a baseball cap all the time. And every time somebody gives you a piece of advice, you get some wisdom, you stick it under your hat. You stick it under your hat. You never take your hat off. You never empty the wisdom, because you never know the point in time that you need to pull that piece out and use that piece of wisdom. The timing may just not be right today. So some of what I say today, the timing may not be right for today, and that's okay. Just store it under your hat. And when you find the need for it, reach up there and grab it and use it. Now let's talk about pitfall number 1. Your purpose and reason is vague. Okay, what do I mean? What does that look like? I can't tell you the number of people I've worked with over the years that say, I'm ready, man, I want to do this. I'm so excited. Well, why are you going to do this? What's the driving factor? Well, I want to help people. I just want to make a difference. Okay, all of that is vague. To really understand your purpose, you got to walk in the reality of why are you engaging? Why are you taking your personal time? Why are you taking your family time? Why are you redistributing your day to do something? And let's face it, we're in a business. Okay, so when we're in a business, we're here to make money. Okay, and that's the reality. We sell a product. That product provides a dollar amount to our home. We build a team. There's avenues that brings money to our home. Okay, so when we look at our purpose and reason, okay, if I want Plexus to provide $500 a month for my family, why does that $500 matter? Be specific, because when things get tough, if it's not specific, your daily habits and your daily actions will dwindle. You won't be as much on fire. Okay? If you want to make $10,000 a month, why does that matter? I mean, at the root of all of it, does it mean I'm going to be debt free? I'm going to have time freedom. And then I'm going to say, what does time freedom look like for you? Be so specific with what your purpose and reason, your why is, because when things aren't going right, when you're the only person that believes you're doing something, you've got to have that so fine-tuned that no matter what attack is thrown at you, you're ready to mount the charge. Okay. Here's my solution. Okay. Here's my story. One of my dear friends worked their way out of our business. And they literally worked their way out because they refused to write something down that was specific enough that made them uncomfortable to do the daily activity that it took to win the business. Your why should make you uncomfortable. Your why should stir something. Your reason, okay? Now, happy Mother's Day, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to get this out of the way. I'm going to say something really positive. Happy Mother's Day. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Don't use your kids as excuse. Okay, if you say to me, we're in a coaching session, and you say to me, I want to do this for my kids, I'm going to beat that up for a pretty long time, because it's not about your kids. It's about you wanting to be the mom for your kids. So get down to the specific of what really, really matters, because in the tough times, what really, really matters is going to keep you in the game. And number one, purpose and reason is too vague. And number two, comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of joy. It's your journey. It is only your journey. Okay. What Amber's doing, what I'm doing, what Monica's doing, what Emily's doing matters not. It only matters to what I'm doing, where I'm going, what I want. But you got to take that one step further. Okay? You got to be excited for Emily and Emily's vision and where Emily wants to go and what her mountaintop looks like. You can't get lost in, well, she can't get there before I do. And here's the truth, is your journey may not be driven as hard as somebody else's. And you're going to stand next to each other, and you're going to be running a race, and the other person's going to be 5 feet ahead of you. And you're like, I'm trying to catch up. And I'm going to say, no, that person wanted $1,000 a month and she has it all written down. You only wanted $500 a month. You can't compare the two. The race is different. The work is different. The time spent is different. All of it is different. And you have to be present in your own reality. So comparing journeys, unless the person has the exact same motivation, has the exact same, and in 25 years, I've not found somebody with the exact same. So give yourself a break. Uh-oh, where'd everybody go? Uh-oh, what just happened? Y'all still there? Am I still here?
We're here.
We can hear you.
We
Yep.
can see you and hear you fine.
Okay, good, because my computer just decided to do something strange. Okay, there we go. Sorry. So comparison. So here's my comparison. I had a leader on my team, grew a massive organization, and every time she went to a national convention, she was sick before she went to the meeting, and was sick for 3 days when she came home. And she got the anxiety and the nerves about going to a meeting. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I'm not where I was. I'm not where I want to be. And then going to a meeting and seeing all the success and all the things that they march across stage, and I'm not one of them. And I'm in a leadership meeting, but nobody's talking about me. And so this cycle of emotional energy that was just so upsetting to her. She never enjoyed the convention. She never got the inspiration that was supposed to come from being around a group of people, around the community. She always she measured versus enjoying the process and celebrating for Amber's success. So be careful. Comparison can be one of those things that steals your steals your emotional energy, and doesn't let you fully reap the blessing of what the direct sales opportunity that's in front of you. Number 3, unidentified expectations for your teammates. Okay, so here's as I'm thinking through this, this is what came to my mind. How many times as a leader did I reach out to somebody with $1,000 goal and their goal was $500? Or my goal for them, or my expectation for them, was to be on every Monday night phone call because I knew what it was going to do for them and I knew that it was going to make it better, and they chose to go play men's softball. So here's my story with that. One of my best buddies in the business, he's one of those foxhole guys. I can't tell you the number of times in the last 20 years I've called this gentleman. My kid's radiator broke and he's on I-30. He's on a highway somewhere, and he's the only person I know that can go get him. He's a foxhole guy. I knew in my head he wanted to be a stay-at-home dad. In my head, and it took probably a year before he and I sat down and explored what being a stay-at-home dad really meant. And I come to find out, and this is my mistake, because I had the expectation. I'd planted it in my mind. Come out, he didn't want to be a stay-at-home dad. It wasn't even on his radar. Okay. But here's the solution for that. Talk to people. Be the person that asks great questions, because our job as a leader is to meet them at their question. So if someone says, I want to be a stay-at-home dad, ask them the next question. Well, what does that look like? What does that mean to you? Because then you have a record of what they said, and you can go to them when things are either going really well or going really bad, or not going well, or not moving towards what they want. You can go back to them and say, hey, Amber, you and I had this conversation, and this is what you said. I wrote it down. Are we still in the same place? Because I'm expecting, and I'm coaching, and I'm everything that I'm doing is based off of this conversation. Amber, are we still on the same page? And so get really good at being uncomfortable and asking very pointed questions. You're not belittling, you're just being real. All right? That way you can go back and coach the way that they need to be coached. Number 4, answer before hearing. Are you answering somebody before you hear what they're talking about? And here's where my mind goes with that. As you're listening to your friend talk, to your client talk, are you already formulating the answer before they finished? You will turn people off. People will look at you like, you're not even listening to me. All you want to do is tell me what you know. Let somebody finish their train of thought, pause for a minute, and say something like this. Am I just listening today? Do you just need a place to tell me what's going on? Are you looking for my advice? Or are you looking for my direction of how to move forward? Because sometimes the person you're talking to just needs to be heard. And if you're already moving past what they're saying to what you think you should be answering with, you've missed the opportunity to be a blessing. So in all of that, therefore, in all of that, slow down, put your own agenda behind you, and make sure that you're present for the person that's in front of you. Okay, number 5. This is one of my favorites. Controlling your emotional energy. Or a better way to say that is not controlling. The pitfall is not controlling your emotional energy. Here's what that looks like. Kylie says to me, Joel, I want to make $10,000 a month. I want time freedom. I want to be able to give. I want to be able to go on mission trips. I want to take my kids on trips. I want a tour. I want a new dog. I want to live on a farm. My job at that point in time is to listen, say back to her what she said to me. I asked the question, Kylie, what do you see my role in that? How can I help? Because here's what we do. Here's what the tendency is to pick up all 9 of those things that Kylie said, put them on our shoulder, put all of the things that Emily said and put them on top of Kylie's, do all the things that Monica said, put them on Kylie's, put them on top of Emily's, put Monica's, and then put Amber's. Okay. And we're giving all of this energy. Okay. Quite frankly, the only people that really deserve your emotional energy is your family. After your family, everybody in your business gets your emotional energy. So here's the solution, or here's my story. And this is my story because I'm a people guy. I love people. And the good Lord has blessed me with broad shoulders, and I carry the burdens of my team. And when you have a team, our team was over somewhere, 10,000 plus people. That's a lot of burdens. That's a lot of excitement. That's a lot of expectations. That's a lot of stuff. And I would burn myself out mentally. I would exhaust my own emotional energy worrying, is Kylie doing enough? Is Emily doing enough? Is Amber doing enough? And it was this rabbit trail of circles. And instead of having a great follow-up system, instead of having great boundaries of my own emotional energy, because at the end of the day, Kylie has to do the work. And if I'm leading the right way, she and I have identified the work that she needs to do in order to get to where she wants to go. So then I get to control my own emotional energy, and I can check in on the work. I can check in on the activities. I don't have to carry the burden of living on a farm and 1,900 acres and 4 pieces of equipment. I don't have to carry that burden because that's her story. That's her vision. That's where she wants to go. My job as the leader is to check in and see how the work's going. Now, my burden becomes lighter because I'm not having to worry about it all. I'm just checking in on the work assignment that we've agreed on that Kylie's going to carry out. Because I'll be honest, my wife deserves my emotional energy. God blessed me with that relationship, and it's the most important one I have. My kids come second. Everything else comes after that. Please hear my heart. I'm not saying that someone else's stuff isn't important. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in a business mindset, we have to control our emotional energy and be responsible for the things that we can control. Okay. This really isn't one of them, but I'm going to add it right here. Your goals have to have actions. I would rather you not set goals if you don't have an action plan, because you're not going to get there anyway. It is more important that you know the steps that it's going to take to get to where you want to go than the goal itself. Okay. The other thing that goes with that is you can only control what you can control. If your business isn't growing, if things aren't going the direction that you want them to, guess what? It's your job to control the controllables. And in the direct sales network marketing businesses, we can sell how much product, we can control how much product we sell. We can control new people coming to our business. Let me rephrase that. We can control the number of conversations that we're having to draw people to our new business. We can't control their answer, and we can't control what they do. But we can control the number of conversations. We can control our own leadership. We can control our attractiveness. We can control our storytelling. We can control our product intake. We control our lifestyle. We can control our habits. We can control the things that we can control to be better, to provide more attractiveness to ourselves. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay, let me get rid of that sheet. Okay, are we all still with me? I got one more, okay? And then I got some wisdom from John Gordon, and we're gonna call it quits, because y'all are busy people, and you can handle so much information at one time. A dear friend of mine named Rick Loy, man, that man has walked me through more things than I'll ever be able to thank him for. You know, I was down on myself because I wasn't reading enough. I thought I wasn't reading enough. You know, leaders are readers. The average CEO reads 5 books a month and blah, 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 blah. So Joel's comparing himself, right? Joel's comparing himself to what's going on in the world. And Rick looked me in the eye and he said, I would rather you read one book and get to work on the things in the book than to read another book. So I want you to pause for a minute, and over those last 5 pitfalls, all of those are work. They're not, it's not time for Joel to just philosophize for you. It's time to stop, take some inventory, and where can you do better in each one of those areas? Okay. And that's not easy. You may have to reach up to your upline. You may have to reach out to Amber. Because number 6 is the biggest pitfall is defining our own current reality. And when we look at a pitfall in that is we're not being honest with ourselves. We're not being honest with ourselves with what our current reality really, really is. Are we really selling product? Really? You know, are we, let me rephrase. Are we selling product based off of where we want to go? Are we recruiting people? Are we bringing new people into our business based off of where we want to go? Are we leading? Are we helping people truly leading based off of where we want to go? And have we defined that current reality? You know, if you want to make $10,000 a month, man, it's time to pony up, hook the horses up, and we got some running to do. You know, if you want to make $500 a month and you're at 0, it's time to hook up the ponies. I mean, we got stuff to do. We got product to get out the door, because we're at the end of the day, we sell something. If we're not selling something, we're not winning. Plexus is a nutritional company that has products. You get paid when those products go out the door. The only way you get paid is when products go out the door, whether it's for you personally or within your organization. It's the only way you get paid. So the little conveyor belt where your products get shipped from, you want as many boxes on those conveyor belts connected to your account or connected to your team's account. That's how your check grows. Pause for a minute. Define the reality of where you're at. Okay, I got to step back for a minute. Number 6 is a tough one. It is not the time to get down on yourself. Leadership is unemotional. Your story is emotional. When you look at number 6 and you define reality, you don't beat yourself up. It's the actions. It's not about you as the person. If I'm not moving enough product, why? Why is that not happening? Do I need better skill sets? Do I need a better language? Do I need more confidence? Do I need to have the products work for me better so I can talk to someone else about what's going on with me? Those are actions that has nothing to do with who you are as a person. So when you're defining reality, has nothing to do with this. It has all to do with what you're doing. When you go to the gym, you go for a run, you get on a treadmill, go down the block, whatever you do for exercise. Does a dumbbell look at you and go, hey, pick this up, it's heavy? That dumbbell never talks to you. Until you put it to work, your body doesn't change. Defining your own reality is exactly the same. You're pausing for a minute, taking a big look at your business, taking a big look at the actions, okay? And it's simple. Make a plan, execute the plan, gather some data to see if the plan worked, do some high-level evaluation, do some feedback, and you're either going to do one or two things. You're going to change the plan or do it again. Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Make a plan, do the action, grab some data, evaluate it, do it again. The exciting part about this is about being better. This is about growing. This is about being somebody different. It's adding tools into your tool chest. It's adding extra skills. A buddy of mine is running a health and wellness company, and the whole premise of the health and wellness company, and it's a corporate wellness system, it's about helping people develop the skill set to have a healthy lifestyle. Develop the skill set as a Plexus distributor, as a Plexus consultant, as a Plexus ambassador. Develop the skill set that it takes to be successful based off of your own race and journey, not anybody else's. And when you want to take it to the next level, develop the next skill set. You want to take it to the next level, develop the next skill set. That's the key to making direct sales a lifelong pattern, and a lifelong journey is stair-stepping those as you go. Okay. We're going to stop there. I could go on forever about pitfalls because there's tons of them. And after 25 years, I've seen them all, touched them all, screwed them all up myself. And one of my passions is to help people with shortening the learning curve. If there's something that I've been through, something that I've watched, been involved in, that shortens the period of time to your success, man, I want to dump it out to many people as I can, because this is such a, direct sales has been such an incredible blessing for our family. I was the present dad. My son played college baseball, and I missed 2 starts in 5 years. He was a starting pitcher, and he started when he was a freshman. And in 5 years of baseball, I missed 2 starts. My daughter raised guide dogs for the blind. She was involved in 4-H. We didn't miss events. We chose any event we missed. It was a chosen adventure with a future date of what was going to help with what I missed. My son laughs. We've not celebrated his birthday on the day in 25 years, because I was always at a conference in that week of time, but we've always done something special to make sure that his birthday was special. So remember, pitfalls are opportunities. They're not bad things. They're road bumps, but they're there so you can learn a new skill and get better. Okay. So here's my last piece of wisdom, and then I'm gonna give it back to Amber. I'm a John Gordon fan. I think the world of the man. I think his leadership style speaks to me. And I saw this, and I thought tonight this would be the perfect way to end. Positive leadership is not rah-rah, weak, soft, Pollyanna, annoying. Leadership is not okay with average. Leadership is not ignoring reality, and leadership is not toxic. Here's what leadership is. Positive leadership is inspirational, mentally tough. It's a gift. It is optimistic. It's attractive. Positive leadership is developing greatness. Positive leadership is creating a better reality. Positive leadership is encouraging. Okay, in that positive leadership is component, I want you to notice motivation is not one of the 9 things. Positive leadership is not motivation. So as you're growing in your leadership, as you're growing in the direction that you're going to go, it's inspirational, mental tough, gift, optimistic, attractive, developing greatness, creating a better reality, and it's encouraging. The 9th one for me is compassionate. Positive leadership is compassionate. Well, I am very thankful that you guys spent some time tonight and came out and entertained me. I so love being around people and love helping people explore and expand their horizons. Again, my gift or my prayer is that somebody walks away with added value of where they're at right now for something going on in their world, that something that was said tonight will add value and will make the journey better because you're on the call tonight. Amber, it's all yours.
Oh my goodness. We're all going to walk away with this has been incredible. I have 5 pages of notes and I even drew my circle pretty small at the beginning. So 5 pages of notes. And Jana, did you have something you wanted to add? I know you unmuted there for a sec. Okay. I heard Buck. So I guess he wanted to add something, but Joel, thank you so much. Here's what I want to do for just a few minutes. Let's open up the chat. You guys put in the chat. So I actually got 7 pitfalls because you snuck in that other one in there. So we've got 7 pitfalls. Your purpose and reason are vague. Comparison, unidentified expectations for your teammates, answer before hearing, controlling your emotional energy, set goals with no action plans, and not being honest with ourselves. In the chat, just put the number. Which one stuck out to you the most? Which one struck a chord with you? And you went, ooh, okay, that stepped on my toes a little bit. I need to examine that area. Just which one? I have a funny feeling it's going to be all different, all across the board. There's going to be different ones that speak to each and every one of us. And then Joel, if you could do us a favor, that quote that you read there at the end, could you put that in the chat? Or could you send it to me and I'll put it on the team page?
I'll send it to you and I'll let you put it on the team page.
We'll do that. Okay. Joel, do you have about 10 more minutes for a quick Q&A?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's do some questions. Guys, you have someone here who knows this business really, 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 really well, in case you haven't already figured that out. So let's open up some questions. If you have a question, just unmute or put it in the chat if you'd rather. Does anyone have anything or comments? As Genevieve said, snide remarks, we won't take any of those. But anybody have a question? Wow, y'all are quiet tonight. It must have been a rough Monday for some of us. Well, Joel, I think what's happening is kind of what's happening in my mind right now is we're all marinating on this and going, whew, I want to watch it again. I need to read my notes and I need to really dig deep into myself with some of these. I did love what you said about none of this is about putting yourself down. It's all about recognizing, okay, I fell into this pitfall, but I'm going to learn from it and I'm going to move on. The struggles that we face, the pitfalls that we face, they're all meant for us to learn from them. And if we can do that and not instead let us get discouraged from them, if we can choose to learn from them, it's a whole nother ballgame.
You know, Amber, I think the other big thing about that is the pitfall doesn't define who we are.
Mm.
You know, it's just part of the journey of the business. It's part of being involved with people.
Yeah.
The pitfall never defines who we are as people.
Yeah, absolutely. I would even go as far as to say, y'all, this business does not define who you are as a person.
Right.
It doesn't. So don't, it's easy. It's so easy. That comparison, and we talk about that a lot. That comparison is so easy. And you start seeing other people, well, they started around the same time I did, and they're this much farther in the game, and they're doing this and that and the other. And I'm just struggling to keep my head afloat. Listen, this business does not define who you are at all in any way, shape, or form. Emily, did you have a question?
How did you know?
I saw you unmuted.
Oh, okay.
It shows me when when someone unmutes.
I was wondering if you could expand a little bit when you said don't use your kids as an excuse. Like, what was your meaning? Like, don't use your kids as an excuse to not go for your goals, or?
Well, so many times over my journey, and this is just an experiential statement, so please take it for that. I hear people say, it's about my kids, it's about my kids, it's about my kids. Well, really,
why they're doing it.
Right. It's really not about your kids. It's about you wanting to be present, or you wanting to provide, or you wanting to be involved, or you taking your kids to another level. It really isn't about your kids. And making that separation from that is freeing, because your kids aren't responsible. I'm responsible for setting the environment in my home that I want my kids to have, whether that's experiences, whether that's time freedom, whether that's, for me, I wanted to be present. I wanted to be the present dad, whether it was at school, whether it was at door open line, whatever was going on, I wanted to be the present dad. It's about my kids, but it's about me wanting to be the most important, influential person in my family, in my kid's life. I wanted Jackie and I's voice to be the loudest voice in my kids' ears all the time. And the only way that I could do that was it was about what I wanted. My kids weren't the motivation. They were the reason. Okay.
Yeah.
Two people asked, does that help, Emily?
It does, yes.
Okay. Two people asked, can you explain the difference between inspiration and motivation? Absolutely. Motivation lasts about this long. When you're inspired, it's not an emotional component. Motivation is all about what's inside of you. It wells up this level of excitement. It elevates how I feel. And that goes away, because motivation is a feeling. Where if you're inspired, there's more guts to it. There's more depth. There's more clarity. Inspiration, Albert Einstein, for example, is a perfect example of inspiration versus motivation, because his 10,000th effort produced the light bulb. That's an inspired learner. That's not a motivated learner. Most motivated, you can motivate a monkey, can't inspire a monkey. Okay. Some people would say that I'm splitting hairs. I am. I truly believe that to win in direct sales, motivation is not the key. It's inspiration is the key. It's what you want, and are you inspired enough to get into action long term to get what you want? Does that help?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Carl, did you have a question?
Yes, I do. Hey, Joel.
Oh.
I may have missed this earlier if you mentioned it already, about 10 minutes late getting on. You always hear that the customer does not like to be sold to. They want to buy. Can you expand that a little bit as far as not trying to sell to them, but ask enough questions, I guess, to have them want to buy from you?
That's a great statement. And it's a hard comparison. There's two realities as we walk through this. I use the leadership example that there's the conversation that I'm having with the person that's in front of me. So it's this conversation, and then it's the conversation that I'm having with myself in the back of my head. Okay. So if I'm talking to somebody, I'm presenting enough information that is attractive, that is adding value to them to get them to buy a product or to get them to buy into the things that I'm saying. In the back of my head, my conversation is I got to sell enough stuff to make enough money to do what I want to do. Okay. So when you become a salesman, nobody likes a pushy salesman. Nobody likes, but at the end of the day, people are buying nutritional products from someone. Why aren't they buying them from your store? Your store sells nutritional products. People have to come to your store to buy them. So my back of my head conversation is my store sells products. When I'm talking to people, I'm figuring out what they need, so they will purchase what they need to add value to themselves. Does that help?
Yeah, it helps. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
That's so good. And I think if we all could think about, we've all been in a store with a pushy salesperson, and we've all been in a store with a salesperson that makes you go, oh, I want to shop here because of them, right? We've all seen the differences. The one that makes you want to buy stuff, they're generally super helpful. They ask, what do you need? What are you looking for? Are you shopping for something special? Rather than, yeah, we're having a sale over here and it's generic and it's the same thing for everyone. We've all been there. So I think great question, Carl. That was good. Good. Anybody else have anything? And yes, Terry, I just saw your text. I've taken gobs of notes. She was putting grandbabies to bed and couldn't take notes, but Babette, I think, has a question.
I do. Thank you. So Joel, you have spawned with that last answer a question in me, and that is specifically around, I have my goal, a very strong goal, and I know what I need to do to get there. And one of those things is to grow my team. So how can I inspire others to want to get involved in network marketing without being weird? So it's kind of it's a how-to that's out there that I am struggling with a little bit, and trying to get people that I know, so the language in my head is, I know they need this because they have said, I am struggling financially, I can't make ends meet. I mean, they have been very specific in sharing that with me. And I can show them every way to Sunday how this business works, but I'm clearly not doing a good job of inspiring them to kind of take that forward, or demystifying the negativity that might pre-exist in their mind and the dialogue that they're playing in their mind about multi-level marketing.
Can I say something real quick? To everyone in your upline, Babette, you are clearly not doing what you just said. You said it pretty clearly about yourself. You're a rock star. You're doing awesome. Anyways, go ahead, Joel.
Well, the first rattle out of the box is define your own reality and don't beat yourself up, because the things walking around in your own head are probably false. Okay. Research says that somebody has to be introduced to an idea somewhere between 7 and 12 times before they make a yes. Okay. So the person that says, I need this, things are tight. Okay. They don't know that direct sales is the answer, because they don't have a palatable comparison that they can go, if I invest this much time over here, this is what I can make. If I invest this much time over here, they don't understand what we already know. Okay. It took us 15 years of beating the drum to make a high 6-figure income. I mean, 15 years. I mean, who wants to do something for 15 years when it really comes down to it, right? Okay. But if they walk through the journey with me, I can meet them where they're at. And I would say things like, Babette, hey, tell me about why things are a struggle. Tell me what's going on. Man, I appreciate that. Man, that sounds pretty, what are the 2 or 3 solutions that you found right now that are going to make a difference for your family? Pause, stop, let the silence be uncomfortable, and say, would you be open to an opportunity? I don't know if it's for you or not, but for me and my family, we've been involved with a nutrition company, and it's far exceeded the income that we ever thought it was going to. And I would love to expose that to you. If you're not ready, great. I'm not going anywhere because this is what I know about me. I am going to do Plexus because I have these 3 goals that are really, and you have to go, my 3 goals are my 3 reasons. I mean, they have to be so solid and so right now that they fall off your tongue like water, because that's what the person's going to catch. It's the last thing that you say, and then you leave it alone. Because that's exposure number 1. Somewhere they've got to be 7 to 12 more exposures. Right? People aren't going to jump on the first exposure. It doesn't make sense. So my answer always is, how can I position product as a win so they know what I know? And how can I position product as a bridge to the opportunity? More importantly, how can I bridge product to be part of a community that they don't know that they need? Okay. The pressure on ourselves to perform means you just have more people in the pipeline. Pitfall number 8 is trying to do too much with too little. Trying to squeeze water out of a turnip, and there's no water left in the turnip. You got to have enough people in your organization to earn the income that you want. And the only way that you do that is to have enough conversations. And remember, it's a conversation. It's not, it's nothing else but a conversation, because it's about the other person. Remember, it's a 2-headed conversation. It's kind of like we were talking about our store, Carl's example about buying and selling. The same thing happens when it's about our businesses. What I want is back here. And if what I want ever comes up here and is in front of my client, I'm in the wrong. Because all of this is about the person in front of me. All of this is about me. But all of this is about who's in front of me and what's best for them. And I can't tell you the number of people that I've said, hey, I don't think this is a very good opportunity for you. I mean, I think these products are going to change your life. And I think they're going to do stuff for you in the middle of your battle that you don't even know. But I'm going to take it away from you. I don't even want it on the table. I don't think this is the right time for you to be involved. And just stop the conversation. The hard part about recruiting is having the pipeline full enough to actually recruit people. Mm-hmm. That's the hard part about recruiting. And there aren't any magical answers. I got really good at having 3-foot conversations with people. I mean, I love just talking to people. And if I could position a conversation, or I could position the next question, it was a win. And I just had to do that often enough. And that was the part that stalled people out, is having those conversations often enough. And man, you didn't want to stand behind me in the grocery cart line because I cared about how you felt. How are you today? How's the world? Somebody's going to answer me. And then it's just a conversation. Well, what do you do? Blah, blah, blah. Well, what do you do? I change people's lives. So, I mean, and this isn't what tonight was about. You got to have a great story. Your story has to be so attractive, and you have to have so many stories about yourself. You got to have multiple different stories that you can pull out at any time. You're talking to me about products for a pregnant woman. I ain't listening. I ain't pregnant. Okay. And I can't tell you the number of people that over the years would tell a pregnant person's story to somebody that wasn't pregnant. Make your story relevant to the person in front of you. Okay. You can't tell somebody they're fat if you're trying to sell weight loss. It doesn't work. But anybody that has visible weight to lose needs energy. Change the conversation. You know, a mom of 15 kids running through the grocery store needs energy. Okay, be patient, especially if it's a place that you're going to see the person more than once. All right, here's the other part of that though, and I'm going to be honest. You may be opening the door for a conversation that someone else has already had. And that's just part of this business. You know, that you may be the 5th or 6th or 7th connection that somebody else has started. That's part of the game as well. That's just part of it. Babette, does that help?
Oh, that was huge. Yes. Very, very helpful. Thank you. And I feel better. I haven't been too weird. Thank you.
I tell people I heard this said at a missions conference years ago. And of course it was in reference to sharing the gospel, but they said, we have to learn to love fishing, not just catching. And it's so applicable to network marketing. We have to learn to love those 7 to 12 touches, right? We're sitting here going, oh my gosh, we've talked about this 9 times, right? I can't answer any more questions. I've answered all your questions. But instead, if we can reel it back in and think, you know what, this could be when they join, but it might not be. I'm going to enjoy this conversation with this person. I'm going to get to know them better and see what happens from there. So,
Okay,
Joel, thank you.
Let me answer this question real quick. Jeannie, you know,
Yeah, that's what I was going to
how do I answer 7 to 12? How do you say 7 to 12 times without sounding salesy and pushy? It may not be an actual thing that you say. You know, you send a text message and say, hello, how are you today? You send a quick email or something, and the bottom of it says, changing lives with Plexus, or activate is the energy I need for the day, as your tagline underneath your signature. It may not be anything that you say. It may be the shirt that you wear. It may be the water bottle that you carry. It's not 7 to 12 conversations. It's 7 to 12 touches about the company, the product, the opportunity. The other side of that is you have to be the attractive one. They have to see something in you to want to join you. Thus, back to my circle at the beginning, 50% of this is about leadership and growth. Okay, I'm done, Amber.
Joel, thank you so much. This has been incredible. I think we will all agree to that. I'm getting text messages and it's all in the chat. This is so good. This is so good. Thank you so very much, Joel, for giving us your time. Thank you to your family for sharing you with us tonight. We appreciate it. You guys, we have loved this time with you all. We will see you back here at 7:30 next Monday night. See y'all. Have a good one.